Today I want to start a little experiment. We are going to do soaked peas versus planted them dry. I always plant them dry and I've been recommending it to people, but I haven't tried a short soak of my seeds. I hear a lot of people only do 4 hours on peas, and so I'm going to do a side-by-side trial to see if there's a difference. So I'm going to plant this one tray. I'm using 400 grams of seed, which I think actually might be a little excessive. I might want to adjust my amounts, but I'm going to go with that to start out. And these are pea tendrils. They're green pea from True Leaf Market. Link in the description. And so I'm going to plant those ones in here, and then I am going to add water to this one. This way they both get started at the same exact time, and then 4 hours from now I will plant the soaked seeds. And we will see how this goes. So I've got my seeds all spread out, and now that I've spread them out, 400 grams actually is exactly what I would normally do. I don't normally weigh my seeds, but this is what it would look like. So what I do is I have about ½ an inch of soil in there right now, and I've already wet it before I put these seeds on. And now I'm going to take one more scoop of my trusty soil here with my Frosted Flakes bowl. Somehow I got some sunflower seeds in my soil, and I keep getting some sunflower shoots in there. So I cover this. Suddenly super windy out. It's actually kind of nice because it's over 90 degrees out today. I've probably shown you this a million times, but what the heck? Why not show you again? This method of covering up the seeds works awesome. Never get moldy seeds this way, and everything germinates really nice and even. And they don't have to be perfectly covered. If there's a couple sticking up, it's not a big deal. Let's water them. So I soak my trays heavily before I stack them. That's one of the reasons why I don't really feel like it's important to soak them, because I mean they're soaking. So we will soak these. Peas absorb a lot of water, so you really want to go pretty heavy on that. And that's one of the reasons why when I plant them, I'm also going so heavy. So I will cover that up with a lid. Let that sit. I'll put it in the shade so it's not in the sun. And I'm going to go get this one, stack another tray that I've already planted of something else on top of it so that I have some weight on it. It has been 4 days, about 4.5 days since I planted these. These are the ones that were not pre-soaked, and these are the ones that were pre-soaked. I just unstacked them, and it looks like I was a little bit heavier on my soil covering on the soaked ones than I was on the not soaked ones. But so far they look pretty even. Not really seeing a difference. We'll keep going with this and see how it does. It has been 7 days since I started the soaking seeds versus not soaking seeds. And to my surprise, so far, the soaked seeds are far outperforming the non-soaked seeds. So that's why I did this. I wanted to make sure. I'm always telling people that I don't soak my seeds. And it's looking like I'm probably wrong. There's a big benefit in soaking them for at least a little while. I think where I went wrong before was I used to soak my peas way too long. These were soaked for about 4 to 5 hours. And you can see just how much better they're doing. So these were not soaked. That problem there was actually they dried out. That had nothing to do with soaking. I guess maybe if they were soaked they wouldn't have dried out so easily. You can just see it's a lot more sparse. I also coated these ones heavier, the soap seeds, with soil, and I think that is contributing to helping out, but I don't think that's the only contributing factor. So we'll give these a few more days, see how they do. You can see I've got a rogue sunflower seed that made its way in there, but yeah, so that's an update. Well, I am ready to conclude this soaking versus non-soaking experiment, and I think the results are pretty clear. This is the tray that was not soaked, and I had a few troubles with it. I think that I maybe didn't stack it as long as I should have, but in either case they were the same. They were both treated the same way. This is the tray that was soaked, and the difference is substantial. So I was going to harvest this all up, weigh it all up, show you the actual difference, but I think it's pretty clear. From what I can see, it's like a 50% difference. I mean, yeah, I was way wrong. Always hate to have to admit that, but you know, when you're wrong, you're wrong. At least on the green peas, there's no question at all. There's still a lot of them in here that didn't sprout all the way yet. And when it comes to the green peas, the tendril peas, I've been doing 2 harvests because I get 2 really good harvests off them. But there's even more on this tray that are slower to sprout. So there you have it. A big difference from the way I used to do stuff when I soaked this time around is I only soaked for about 4 or 5 hours. When I used to soak my peas, I would soak them for, you know, like 8 hours or so and rinse them, and another few hours and rinse them, and I'd end up with some mushy peas. So I was actually giving soaking a bad rap, I think, because I was over soaking. And it looks like you don't have to soak them for that long. You know, 4 or 5 hours is perfect. It's a little bit difficult for me because I don't usually have that window of time of 4 or 5 hours before I'm gonna plant, because I usually plant on weekdays. But I'm gonna try to maybe only plant my peas on weekends where I have time to wait, because I think that it's worth it. So sorry for spreading all the misinformation for about a year now. I have had good results with not soaking my peas, but in this A-B comparison, the soaking won out big time. Thanks for watching, everyone.